Hey there, welcome back. Welcome to the Future of Blogging Facebook group, if that's where you're catching us, or wherever it is you're listening in. Welcome, happy to have you here. We're going to talk blogging today, and more specifically, we're going to talk about email lists because I get asked about email lists all the time. And I think it's really important because your email list is really what's going to allow you to take your blog kind of to that next level. What it does is it allows people to sign up for some offer that you have, or even just to sign up for your newsletter. And then when you have their name and their email address, you can reach out to them over and over and over again with any new blog posts you have, with any special offers you have, or anytime that you want to connect with them. And that gives you the opportunity to take the traffic that you do get to your blog and amplify it. Because if you imagine, if someone just comes to your blog one time, they maybe find a good recipe or get a helpful tip, and they're like, gosh, this is really good. I like this. And if on the side of that blog post, you have some free offer that either relates to your niche or even relates to that specific post, and they're like, dang, I would really like to get that free, whatever it is that takes the blog post maybe and gives me a PDF version of it. Really simple and easy to do. Does require a little bit of work for you up front, but if you have a particular blog post that you know gets lots of traffic, that's a great way to get those traffic, that those people that come for that particular blog post, converted into email subscribers. Anyway, so there's a lot of different ways that you can get people onto your email list. But really, what I want to talk about first is the value of having an email list. So, if you have an email list, you're able to reach people who they may have just come to your site one time. And I don't know about you guys, but when I go to a site one time, oftentimes I forget about that site as soon as I've left it, or certainly by the next day. And so I'm not necessarily checking back for new information or any new resources or new tools or anything like that that they may offer a month from now, 2 months from now, what have you. Um, doesn't mean that there aren't new things that I could pick up and learn from them as I proceed forward. Um, but at the same time, as the person who has this email list, I'm able to send an email saying, "Hey, I've got this new post that I put together. It's got really great tips on XYZ." Maybe it's building an email list. Maybe it's, helping you do this new thing that you always wanted to do, whatever that is. And so when you are helpful to people by giving them really great email content, or even just as basic of, I have a new post, it's about this, and a teaser sentence or two that gives them kind of like a reason that they'd want to read your post. And then you just send that out to your list. It can really be that simple. So it doesn't have to be complicated, it doesn't have to be complex, but it can be really, really helpful just for you to be able to send um, a small amount of information to them on a weekly basis. Honestly, I say weekly because if you're doing less than a week, it's harder for people to remember that they signed up with you because they don't always open every email to begin with. So if you send once a month, by the time 2 months has passed, if they missed one of those, the 2 or 3 months later, they're like, who is this? I don't remember signing up for this, and then unsubscribe. So by getting in their inbox on a weekly basis, or even a daily basis, but at the minimum, I'd suggest weekly basis, you're able to remind them of what you talk about, how you help people, and that you are able to be helpful to them. They remember, that they had built this relationship, sort of, so to speak, with you, starting with when they got your freebie. Um, and so that's a really great benefit to having an email list. It brings more people to your blog, back to your blog, I should say. And also, when you have, say, an affiliate offer that you're bringing people back to your blog for, you actually can financially benefit from them coming to your blog. Um, also, just getting more traffic to your blog will help you over the long term. Getting more exposure, getting more, if you later look at doing ads or that kind of thing. All of that helps your blog. You can also have better standing with working with brands if you have higher levels of traffic on your blog or on your social media or what have you. So those are just some great ideas as far as why you want to have an email list. And then to create an email list, It really requires you to have something that attracts people to give you their email address. Now, when you're just starting out, it's completely okay to say sign up for my newsletter. Um, but we all know that not a lot of people sign up for newsletters. Like they're not necessarily perceived to be as much of value as they were maybe 10 years ago. So nowadays, the best way to get people to sign up is to offer some kind of valuable freebie. Um, and you want it to be appearing that it has high value to them, because that will make them be more likely to give you their contact information in exchange for it. Um, if it looks like it's just not any real value, it's harder for them to be willing to part with their contact info because honestly, that's almost more valuable than money. So kind of keep that in mind. And so when you create something that you want to give away, usually I call them a freebie. It's also referred to as an opt-in. And you need to have some kind of a form that you create, usually in an email service provider like MailerLite, MailChimp, or any number of others, ConvertKit. There's a number of them that you can pick from. But whatever you have been using, or if you need to sign up for one, you can pick one and just get started. But they generally have a form that you can create. You can create a pop-up form so that after someone comes on your site, um, after a couple of minutes or a couple of seconds, however long it is you want to set it, usually probably I'd say most people probably set it for like 15 to 45 seconds. And then also you can set it so that if they go up to, with exit intent, it's called, but up to like the bar where you type in the URL, you can have the pop up if they do that, or if they scroll down below like half or three quarters of the page, that it would pop up. You want it to not pop up like immediately. You want them to have a little bit of experience with your page before your pop-up comes up. So that's why you don't want to instantly have it up there, because I'm sure you've probably had that happen where it's like, I don't even know what this page is. How do I know if I want to trust them to give them my contact information for this thing? It may or may not seem valuable, but you at least want to have some idea, like, are they for me? Is this my kind of thing? What kind of vibe do I have on the site? So those are all helpful things for starting out with thinking about starting your email list. And honestly, once you have even just a couple people on your list, you want to start thinking about creating an email on that weekly basis so that you keep those people on your list. And also, they have no idea if they're number two on your list of two, or if they're on a list of 1,000 or 10,000. Like, they don't know the size of your list. So you want to treat them as though they have value. And the other thing that that does is it mentally keeps you in the game. Like, I'm in this, I'm doing this, I'm being successful as a blogger. So you want to start to think like, if I'm shooting for an email list of 1,000 within 6 months or 12 months, you want to start thinking in terms of, what does a person who's shooting for an email list or who has an email list of 1,000, what do they do 6 months before that? And those are the things you need to do. So you need to start working on, like, how do you increase your number of people to your site? How do you increase the number of people that are getting your opt-ins or your freebie? Are there things that you can do to increase your reach so that more people are aware of you? Um, and if you're interested in kind of some ideas and that kind of thing, feel free to schedule a chat with me. I'll be happy to talk through some additional options. Obviously, we've kind of got a little bit of a shortage of time here, so we can't go through absolutely everything during these little short info sessions. But if you would like more info, feel free to message me and I can give you some ideas. They vary a little bit based on your niche and based on the topics that you cover. So I'd be happy to kind of dive deep and figure out what some of the best options are for you. So, hopefully, this has been helpful for you. If you have any questions or you just want to chat, feel free to messenger chat me. That's the best way to reach me, or you can always hit reply on any of the emails that you get. So, all right, I hope this has been helpful for you. Have yourself a fantastic day. We'll be back again tomorrow. Talk soon.